Yes, yes, y'all. Yes, yes, y'all. I'm old school, but I keep it funky fresh, y'all. And this is deep, y'all. I'm from the deep, y'all. And what you get is what you motherfucking see.
Welcome back, humans! You know what day it is. My name is Jaime, giving you the vents on headlines that you didn't even know you needed. And with that said, let's get on with some vents, humans. And really quick, smash that subscription if you're new to the channel with notifications, because I'm here twice a week. And back to these crazy ass vents. It's kind of bothering me, humans. It's kind of crazy, all this stuff going on. And like the government's acting like this is what's supposed to be happening. Like this was the way it was supposed to get built back and better. Or better back and bitter. Whatever the hell that means. Or build billion, or, you know, Biden billions. You know, billions for the Biden fucking something, you know, or billion for Biden's bitch ass. Maybe that's what that shit was for. Who knows? But the shit bothers me, humans. It bothers me. It gets me a little upset because they're talking about, like, with this food shortage thing going on, all these shelves being empty at stores. The baby formula shortage. The inflation still inflating. You know, you're going to make Christmas songs about that shit, you know. Inflation's still inflating, you know. You know, 5 more Bidens, or whatever the hell you could do for all that songs. There's probably a bunch. I mean, I'm sure it's coming. I'm sure they're in the works now. I mean, you see these crazy creative, you know, diarrhea and toilet paper commercials that sound like fucking better than some of the crap songs that are on the radio. You know, so they could be coming. But anyways, humans. So yes, the inflation's going crazy. All this stuff's happening, and it sucks. You know, gas is going like way up. Gas is getting expensive as heck, yo. It's bananas. But anyways, with all this shit happening, there's one thing that was always consistent and was never affected by one thing at all. It was never affected at all. Seemed like the illegals could still cross the border, but our food supply chain couldn't get, you know, our food supply boats and shit couldn't cross the border, but all the illegals could, and so could all the drug dealers, because all the drugs are still here, you know, and people are still, you know, dying of overdoses and shit because there's still all kinds of drugs. The dope game didn't slow down because of fucking food chain supply. Their shelves are still full. How can that shit happen, but the food can't get through? How can the dope get through, but the food can't get through? How come we can't get baby formula for some women that can't breastfeed, and some babies need a formula, or allergies, or who knows what? We need that shit, but we can get dope. You can ruin your life, you know, forever with addiction. But you can't buy, like, you know, but you can't get food. But like I said, like, the pandemic didn't fucking stop shit. There was still, like, overdoses, and dope still came through. The rise of the Karens, like the rise and fall of the Karens. You know, like, fucking overdoses still happened, and drugs came through. It's kind of crazy. We have to get, like, you can barely get, like, fucking oil around here because gas is so fucking expensive. Supposedly, like, oil is hard to get now, and we can't fucking get the shit. But you can get dope. I guess that's supposed to be like a positive note, humans. I guess it's hard to pay fucking for gas money, but you can still get dope. I guess those prices supposedly are still the same. You can't get all your groceries and shit because the shelves are fucking empty, but you can get dope. Man, is that supposed to be the bright side? Jeez. Can't fill the grocery shelves, but we can get dope. You can't get your baby formula, but you can get dope. Jeez. Gas prices are always on the rise, like I said, but the dope game prices are probably still the same. That's probably why it's still thriving so much, you know, and people are just fucking, they got to go something that's like, just like still like normal. Maybe that's why it's drawn to the dope game. That's crazy. So maybe that was their plan. Because if we all go to the dope, maybe we'll eat less. And we won't worry as much about the fucking empty shelves. maybe that's part of the like little devised plan. They're like, look, these people will be strung out soon or later, and they will go to the dope. You know, they will go to the dope because they'll be like, oh man, we can't eat. Let's go to the dope. You know, the booze will be too much, and they gotta eat, they gotta do something, and they'll go to the dope. But yeah, that's just. But I mean, that kind of bothers me. Humans that they can get all the drugs still consistently. It's just like consistently just flooding in the drugs. But yet, a person that needs baby formula, you know, a family for their child, can't get it. But so they're gonna go get some dope. No, I'm just kidding. That's not what I'm just saying. It's just bananas. Like, you know, it just doesn't seem right. It does not seem right to me, humans. I don't know about you, but it just doesn't seem right to me. I mean, you could just go get dope all day during all these times. You know, you couldn't go anywhere, but you could get dope all the. That never stopped the drug game. You know, nothing stopped it. Shit just went full force. It was crazy. You know, businesses shut down, and businesses like the doors of businesses closed, except those doors. It just was like, it's bananas. And they was hoping we would eat less. That shit, I ain't falling for that, humans. I ain't falling for that. There's some crazy shit going on, you know. There's some just banana stuff going on. Like, what? Here's another distraction on the news. Like I said, they said they declassified like 400 UFO sightings that said that they defy the laws of physics. And they said it's like only over 400 of them. And then recently, just like the other day, they were talking about there was a briefing on some other declassified shit that I don't even know what I'm talking about. But still, they said over 400 of these things, and they say they can meet like they were recorded like going like 20 times the speed of sound. Damn, that's pretty fast. And I think a lot of those things could be some of our secret, you know, programs where we're looking at like, you know, advancing our military. You know, to try to have a step up on our enemies or whoever I could be our enemies this year. You know, who it is this time. You know. But I have a question about that too. Like, who is to blame when all that stuff still costs a lot if the war in Ukraine ends? Like, and like Putin just says, oh, okay, I'm done now. And then he's going to be like, and gas is still like fucking $20. And he's going to be like, well, you know, who's going to blame after that? I don't know. We'll see. I can't wait to see who he blames on that one. But anyways. So, okay, so they find these UFOs, or they record these UFOs all the time, and now they released like over 400 of these documented things that they had in their files that were classified. And again, it was some more blurry shit. Of course, it's always this blurry shit. We supposedly have all this crazy advanced technology. And they say that like they're 40 years ahead of us because they got to, you know, in the conspiracy realm, they got to lock down all this new technology because of some law they passed in the 50s where some shit's got to be held for 40 years before they release it to the public. So that means we got the iPhones, you know, 40 years later when they already had the shit. So when we get the hologram tech and all that stuff, you know, it's going to be, it's going to be another fucking 40 years for some other cool shit. But anyways, I forgot where I was going with this. No, I'm just kidding. But with all this crazy technology developing and things like that, you wonder if there, you know, like I said, if there's any kind of things in the workings. And of course, it's always this blurry shit. You know, it's always this blurry video they want to show us. Like I said, you know, like I was speaking, and they claim to have all this advanced technology, and I kind of don't buy it. You know, they'll show you all this fucking, you know, this is some declassified footage, and it's a fucking little dot and shit on the fucking infrared, moving fast across the water or moving in the sky all crazy. But what the fuck, man? You know you got an HD version of this. There has to be an HD version. You supposedly had like, you know, counter vehicles or counter attack vehicles, you know, in the air also probably have footage of this shit. And that can't be another blurry dot, can it? Because that's where I don't, like, that's the shit where, like, it doesn't make me want to believe in some of these things. But I do believe, like, there probably is some things from another planet that do exist. But when I see this, like, blurry, you know, like all that blurry shit, you know, that's where it deters me or things like that. But I love to have fun and watch some of these things. But there are some things like, I mean, I love so much. There's some footage that is so phenomenal, like some documentaries even, they're just great. And I just get locked in, you know, when they're talking about like or otherworldly beings and UFOs, or now UAPs, or whatever the fuck they want to call that shit. And some of that stuff, like I said, is really, really good. But then there's some other ones that upset me that are just like flat out blatant bullshit. And they get a lot of fucking media attention. And some of these people get famous and make a career out fucking this bullshit. And then some of them are pretty damn creepy. You know? There's one that really creeped me out. And it's probably fake, but I don't know why. But I seen it when I was little. And I still watch it. And it's one of those like, when I, like the way Exorcist affected me when I was a kid. It used to scare the shit out of me. And it, you know, it still scares me now, but it just kind of brings you back to like your childhood scaring or some shit. But this one old one, it was like these people having like some family get together. I forget what the hell it was called. And all of a sudden, like something lands out in their fucking yard or some shit. And they you know, they have this encounter with some aliens, I guess, you know, and they come in the house and they shoot one with a shotgun and bring it in the house, and the thing didn't die, and all this crazy shit happened in the house. And at the end of the video, family disappeared, aliens walk in the house, and, you know, the fucking footage was found by the police or some shit. And they said when they show up in the house, you know, candles were still lit in the house, and, you know, food was still warm and all this crazy shit, and nobody could find the family. So it's kind of crazy when you see those kind of things happening, and that one kind of creeped me out. But then you got these other ones that are not so much, you know, not so much like, not so much believable, I guess you could say. Like, for instance, you know, like, I mean, come on, somebody's surveillance footage and the lady's fucking filming her shit. Like, you gotta feel like you're being fucking pranked, okay? Like, an alien ain't gonna fucking just walk up in your fucking driveway and do the fucking chicken wing legs. And what the fuck's going on here? I mean, it looks like the dude from Harry Potter, Dobbie and shit, like a Dobbie costume. And I ain't buying this shit. Like, that kind of stuff, like I said, give those a fucking bad rap. And you gotta fucking, like, you know, sift through some of the bullshit. Like I said, that you find some stuff that's really fucking, really good. You know, and I commend everybody out there that does their hard work, whether they're funny ones and bullshit, or they're fucking really cool, and they make you start thinking, like, you know, the ones that make you want, you don't know for sure. So, like I said, there's some other ones here. Like, okay, like my man's here. Like, okay, we're fucking sitting here watching, like, you're fucking interviewing my man. And this is like a real, maybe there was a real interview footage. But this isn't it. It didn't just go out to the public and everybody just forgot about it. And we're just fucking watching, we're worried about fucking January 6th and shit. And this is just floating around the internet if this was fucking real. That's all I'm fucking saying. If this shit was fucking real, like, I don't think nobody be chilling and giving a fuck about Johnny Depp getting his bed shit on. You know, I don't really think nobody give a fuck about Chris, you know, Rocky and fucking slap the shit out of him. You know, or the one dude trying to tackle Dave Chappelle and getting the shit kicked out of him. It'd be bananas. You know, or it would just be crazy. Like, come on, man. Like, this one happens to be real and it's just floating around, right? Come on. And this person, like I said, got me upset because this person got like super famous and like all kinds of documentaries and shit they put this guy in. And this one to me is like one of the biggest bullshit of all. Like, look at this fucking shit. Look at how fucking, why does the alien have like the baby strength? Like, he can't even hold up his own head. Like, look at the shit fucking wiggling. And it looks like he's talking to somebody too. Like, look, man, he's eating a sandwich. What kind of sandwich you think it is? But you ain't seen nobody else. And then when he fucking moves, it just moves like you don't see no fucking step. Like he fucking was on a fucking like rolling car like a fucking E.T. Look at this shit, man. Fucking big old noggin. But look how Kane cooking, like, it's just wobbly, like he can't even control his head and shit. And who is it talking to? Like I said, that's what I wonder too. Like, it's just talking to somebody's ass. That's why you got to be careful, humans. Like, 'cause that one is some straight up BS. And my man got like crazy. He was like all kinds of shows when we were younger. It was like some fucking Unsolved Mysteries and like all these crazy shows that was on, Sightings and fucking, I don't even remember, A Current Affair and like all kinds of crazy shit. And this dude was like fucking, I don't even know, he might have even made Oprah. Who knows? But you got to sift through the bullshit sometimes, humans. Because I mean, for real. Because our government be some gangsters, if you think about it. They're probably the baddest like mob of them all. You know, they like got some fucking, you know, gangster ties somehow, like, because they are fucking gangsters now because they seem to like control everything. Seems like they're controlling everything now, and that's what, like, you know, when you watch all those mob movies and like you watch Star Wars, or like you watch, you know, every villain in like superhero movies, they all just want to like dominate the whole fucking thing. And it feels like our government's like one of those villains in those movies in a way. I mean, seems like somebody's trying to like control it all. Like somebody ain't done, or they ain't done yet till they feel like they control it all in some kind of way. That's how it feels. I mean, it's kind of, I don't know, it just kind of has that feel, you know, because the government don't stop. They're pretty relentless. And now that they got the media under control, like they just fucking steer the fucking ship now. And you got to get your seatbelt on, because you got to go, you know, it's a fucking rough ride, and it's a wild ride right now because the media's in control, in my opinion. And it's kind of scary in that sense, because a famous person back in the day said the media was one of the most powerful weapons in the world. And so you got to watch out, because like I said, our government don't play. They're one of the baddest gangs in the world. Watch out for their gangster rap album one day when we got to set a time capsule, and they're like, oh, they never knew that the government made like a gangster rap album, and it was like get rich or die lying, fucking, it was fucking, and that's the name of the fucking album that was coming out, and it never went out to the public until somebody found some time capsule, 1,000 years from now, they're going to find it, and we never knew about this album, and there's all kinds of stuff in that time capsule that they kept from us, and it's going to be all kinds of bullshit. And our generations of kids, are going to find out and just not even care. But, maybe if we were around like spiritually, we'd be pissed off as ghosts. Maybe knock some cups around and some shit. Who knows? But you got to watch out for that gang. They'll come after you. But yeah, those fucking bullshit alien videos. Or how about that one, where they fucking, it was somebody's fucking, I don't know if there was a trail cam or what the fuck it was, and all it was like two big black circles, like fucking, it could have been a fucking owl or some shit, but no, they said it was a fucking alien, and they made the fucking news, and their fucking asses got famous, and and it could have been a fucking owl. Owls got big ass fucking faces like that shit. Come on, man. You got me saying that shit like Biden and shit. Like, come on, man. You got to watch out for that shit. Come on. Two big ass eyes, like, man, I got buggy eyes sometimes. Like, I could have fell over. We could have been drinking in the woods or some shit, and like I fell over hanging out with some friends. All of a sudden, like, I fell into your trail cam, and my shit was like, I was like fucked up and shit, and it fucking fell right into the trail cam. You just don't know, humans. You just don't know. And with that said, I hope y'all enjoyed this episode. And if you did, I'd appreciate if you would smash that subscription, turn on those notifications, because I'm here twice a week. And with that said, this has been another episode of, not only another episode of, this was the 200th episode, humans, of Meant to Vent. Till next time, humans. See ya.
Yes, yes.